blueprint for beating the 49ers. Sybil, it seems to me that if you were a coach, I don't know if you could tell this to your team on a Wednesday, but look, we don't have to play well. We don't have to move the ball that well. We don't have to score a lot of points. We just kind of have to hang around and not beat ourselves. If we have 0 points at halftime, don't panic. Two things. You got to stop the run, obviously. You got to get Kyle to do his thing where he panics and gives up on the run game. Titans did that. And then just don't beat yourself. Don't turn the ball over. Score about 20 points and wait for the 49ers to self-destruct and beat themselves. That's how they lose every time they lose. And it's kind of it's liberating for an opponent. Like, we don't even have to play well this week. We just have to not turn the ball over because the Niners will if we stop their run game. Is it that simple?
It is. And there are a lot of disguise coverages and leaving spies in the backfield and things like that to mess with Jimmy's vision, which they did. They left spies deep and short, if you notice, underneath, like the linebacker and everything like that. So that's definitely the way to beat the 49ers. Like you said, force the ball. What you're saying essentially is force the ball into Jimmy Garoppolo's hands.
Yeah.
That's a really ugly statement to make when he is your franchise quarterback.
That's right. And that's what the Titans did. I was so impressed.
One of the highest paid players in the league.
I was in Nashville. I'm watching this team. I'm like, man, Tennessee, the Titans stink.
They're a terrible team. There's no doubt about that. The 49ers got embarrassed by a subpar team. Don't let their record confuse you. As you pointed out, who do they play twice a year? The Texans and the Jaguars?
Yeah, and they lost to the Texans once. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, this team sucks. They can't run the ball, and they keep trying to run the ball. But then by like midway through the second half, it's like, oh, they're just not beating themselves. And the Niners are. Look at the run-pass ratios. Look at the turnover ratios. They don't have to play well. They just basically stood on the field and held their ground. Said, you'll lose. You'll beat yourself. And they did. The Niners did on cue, like relentlessly. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. It's very interesting. It seems to me that while the Niners are very talented, that's a condemnation of leadership because Vrabel wouldn't. I know that Harbaugh wouldn't let the Niners lose that way. If the Harbaugh and Niners got beat, they got beat. They didn't beat themselves. When the Patriots lose, they don't beat themselves. They get beat. When the Niners lose, they beat themselves. And that must be really freeing for an opponent. Like, we can just travel the West Coast and, not even play well.
You remember the Patriots game where they attempted like 3 or 4 passes the whole game and won? It doesn't matter what it looks like on your stat sheet because if you look at Jimmy Garoppolo's stat sheet, over 300 yards,
great.
over 20 completions, it doesn't look that bad unless you watch the game.
Yeah.
Then you realize, wow, he's terrible.
Terrible. 49ers daddy said the last tweet John Lynch liked before that was 7 days ago. Liking that tweet was 100% on purpose. He just got caught.
There's no way to disprove you. That's the thing. It was stupid what John Lynch did.
I'm surprised that he didn't say that his kids took his phone, but I guess his kids are a little old for that.
Well, maybe his kids are 49ers fans as well, and they don't like Jimmy.
Maybe. Al Brewer says, here's $2. Thank you, Al. I appreciate it.
That was nice. Very succinct.
Very succinct. Let's play Joe Montana against the Bucs in the first round. Tom versus Joe. That would be inspiring. Otherwise, Steve Young is well rested for a Super Bowl run. Is Jeff Garcia younger than Tom Brady? I don't think so. No. But maybe Jeff Garcia.
Like it.
No, I think Jeff Garcia's in his 50s.